Woo! That was one heck of a Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. Wait, what is this now? Mario Kart World was cost what? Almost had me there. That is funny. April Fool's was yesterday. Oh. So today was the day we've all been waiting for, the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. We've been waiting for this day for over 2 months. And now, just strictly talking about the Direct, I thought the Direct was excellent. And then came some things after that that we're going to get into that may have killed some people's hype, maybe even completely killed some people's hype. But first, we're going to talk about the Direct because I thought the Direct was awesome. Okay, so first they showed Mario Kart World. And Mario Kart World looks beautiful. It looks like a completely evolution of the Mario Kart franchise and the Mario Kart system. It's like an open world Mario Kart game. And I cannot wait to get my hands on this. The graphics look beautiful. The gameplay looks a lot of fun. Looks like they're adding a lot of new things. You can grind in this game. You can go around pretty much anywhere in this game. And I don't think that they say exactly how much players, but it looked like it was the 24 player rumor was true. But yeah, and then they started talking about the C button, like what the C button is. The C button stands for game chat, and I have no interest in trying this because it looks like you're also going to need the camera peripheral that they also announced and will be available at launch to buy separately. But it kind of looks like Nintendo's own version of Zoom. You can just play together. You can just play together. You could have your face on the screen as well, and then you could also use that camera with different games, such as Mario Party. And that looked pretty cool, but I have no interest in it. I'm sure some people who are really into that, especially if you have friends who you can't be with physically, I think that is a perfect idea for them. And there's gonna be a lot of people I think that are gonna be very excited for this. Then they also got into the mouse system, and then they also revealed this game called Drag X Drive, and this is something that only Nintendo would do. Is you're using the mouse feature, and you're just kind of rolling with the basketball, and you're doing all kinds of different stunts, trying to score the basketball in the hoops, and it just looks like a lot of fun. I hope that was not too much because I'm thinking I definitely want to try that one because it looks like fun. They also talk about Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, and this one is a prequel to Tears of the Kingdom, and it's basically a Hyrule Warriors game. And if you're not into that, you probably won't be into this, but I think Hyrule Warriors fans or Dynasty Warriors fans or Fire Emblem Warriors fans will love this game. It looks very similar. It looks basically the exact same gameplay to that. And then one of the biggest surprises, and I'm going to say one of the biggest surprises because it's not the biggest surprise. One of the biggest surprises is Kirby Air Ride is back. If you're a fan of the GameCube game, which came like 20 years ago, Kirby Air Ride, they're making a sequel. I never thought they would make a sequel. This is why Nintendo was like the most unpredictable company. You just never know what they're going to announce next, and I did not see this coming. Kirby Air Ride. There's a lot of great third-party games announced too. Hogwarts Legacy, Civilization 7, Cyberpunk 2077, Split Fiction, Hades 2, Madden, WWE, NBA 2K, EA Sports FC, Borderlands 4, Star Wars Outlaws, Final Fantasy VII Remake. And yep, they finally showed Silk Song. No actual release date coming out this year, but it's still great for them to show that. And then probably the surprise of the day. A new From Software game was announced called The Dusk Bloods, which kind of looks like Bloodborne. A lot of people thought this was a Bloodborne sequel on the Nintendo Switch 2. And what's even the biggest surprise is this is going to be a Switch 2 exclusive. Now that is huge, and this could be a killer app. So it's coming out next year. But we'll see more information as the time goes on. They also talk about the Switch 2 upgrades, and I'm kind of going all over the place right now because I'm just doing this as I remember and as I wrote it down. They talk about the Switch 2 upgrades, and they look really good because they showed Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. And these two games looked beautiful. They upgrade the resolutions. The frame rate is upgraded. They also showed Metroid Prime 4 Beyond on the Switch 2 with the Switch 2 upgrade. And this one is going to have 2 different modes if you're on the Switch 2, which is 4K, 60 frames per second, which is nice, or 1080p at 120 frames per second. That is awesome. But they also did announce that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and I don't know if this is going to be with all the games. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom their upgrades are going to be free if you bought the original Switch version and if you have NSO expansion pack. So that's great, but hopefully it would be great if all the games could have that, but we'll see. It'll make the expansion pack more attractive, but who knows? They also talk about the screen. And we heard some rumors based on this screen on what the screen could be. And honestly, I was thinking this can't be true. This seems a bit too much. It turns out it was true. 1080p LCD screen with HDR up to 120 frames per second, and that is great. To have a screen like that on the system. Of course, we wish OLED, but what they announced is the screen's still gonna be beautiful. The dock is gonna be 4K as we all expected. Um, they also announced something that we've been wanting for a long time, which is GameCube games, and it's gonna come with Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, and F-Zero GX on launch, and that's gonna come to NSO expansion packs. And then in the direct, one last thing. And watching the trailer, I was like, what is this? Is this Mario? Is this Zelda? Nope, it's Donkey Kong. A new 3D Donkey Kong game is being made, and this looks beautiful. This looks like a lot of fun. It's coming on July 17th, so it won't be there at launch, but it will be actually next month at launch because they also announced that the Switch 2 will be launching on June 5th. And the Switch 2 will be launching with two different SKUs, one that just has a Nintendo Switch 2 system, and the other one will be bundled with the Mario Kart World. And they ended without any pricing. And there's a reason for that, because the direct was a little too perfect. Okay, so the Switch 2 will be priced at $449, which is the Switch model, which would just the Switch. And then they ended the direct without any pricing. And there was a reason for that, because the Switch 2 direct was a little too perfect. So the Switch 2 will be priced at $449. That's just for just the system. Bundled with the Mario Kart World will be $500, $449. And you're okay, a little pricier than I wanted, but I'm okay with that. And then came the games pricing. Mario Kart World will be $80 digitally and $90 physically. Hey, what's up, y'all? So I'm editing the video, and I just want to make a small correction. So it looks like as of right now, the physical version of Mario Kart Worlds is listed as $80, and the digital version is also listed as $80. So it looks like as of right now, they are going to be the same price. So just want to make that small correction. Donkey Kong Bonanza will be $70 digitally, $80 physically. Now that came the bad news. And believe it or not, it gets even worse. See, even though they're going to have physical game cartridges and they're going to basically look the same size as the Switch 1's game cartridges, these game carts are, some of the game carts are not going to come with the game. It's going to come with a code that allows you to download the game. Which, yeah, of course, it got a lot of discourse online, and I'm not too happy about that. However, some games will have a standard game cartridge where the game will fully be on the game cartridges. From my understanding, Mario Kart World will have the game keys. Donkey Kong Bonanza, it's not confirmed, but there's a possibility that it will be on the cartridge. And there are theories that maybe the game is too big, and maybe it's just that the cartridge will cost too much and stuff like that. It's possible. Plus, with all this new tariffs and all that stuff like that, that could be also have something to do with it. But man, this could put a dangerous precedent. And as great as the Switch 2 Direct is, a lot of people rightfully got turned off by this. This is a lot of money to spend on a game. And here's the deal. I'm not even kidding, this could spell doom and gloom for the Switch 2 before it even released. Because a lot of people are already complaining with the $7 price tag. However, we also need to really just think about what's been announced right now and what's been confirmed. There's only two, as far as I know, two games that are confirmed pricing. Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza. And just because Mario Kart World is $80 does not mean every game is going to be $80. Donkey Kong Bonanza is $70. So it'll be very interesting to see where Nintendo goes with this. And if I were to make a guess right now, I think their big games are going to be $80. It's going to suck, but I honestly think that's where they're going to be going with this. But their smaller games, and what I mean smaller, Donkey Kong Bonanza. If there's a Star Fox game, that'll be $70. Kirby Air Ride, I think that's going to be $70 as well. I think most games will be $70, but big games like Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, Zelda, Mario, those games are going to be the $80 ones, and that's going to suck. But here's the deal: us as customers, we tell these companies if we're going to accept these prices, and we tell it by our wallets. And if you don't like these prices, do not buy it. You can still buy the system. Buy the system and buy the Donkey Kong Bonanza, or buy the bundle, Mario Kart World bundle. But in the end, we tell these companies how we feel about these prices. So if you don't like these prices, do not support them. And guess what? If they don't sell, Nintendo's going to say, okay, we hear you. We're going to lower these prices. So it's really up to us. But they sell, guess what? Nintendo will continue these prices. It's just as simple as that. But, overall, in terms of the Direct, I thought this was a fantastic Direct. They showed a lot of great stuff, and this system looks like a beast. It looks like a beast of a handheld system. It's just the stuff that came after that, which is turned a lot of people off. And honestly, it kind of lowered my excitement as well. But I'm still excited. I'm still probably going to get it at launch. I'm probably going to get the Mario Kart bundle now because of this price. I just hope that they are looking at this reaction and then price everything else accordingly. Saying, okay, Mario Kart World is the only launch game that will be $80. Everything else will be $70 or $60 or even less than that. Hopefully Metro Prime 4 is not part of that $80. Hopefully it ends up being $60 or $70. Since when we switch to upgrade, I could see them saying, okay, $60 for the Switch version, $10 for the upgrade. That just makes sense to me. But we'll see. We just right now just have to hope for the best. So overall, I think this was a great Direct. Just stuff that came after that kind of killed my hope a little bit, or my excitement a little bit. But what did you think of this? Did you like the Direct? Are you okay with these prices? There's nobody's opinion is wrong here. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and if you're okay with spending this much money for the games and the system, then that's all up to you. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you all for watching, and please leave your comments in the comment section below. And if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Okay? Bye, everybody.